All right, Shalom Yasharahla. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Magar Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and those of great millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akim. There's pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. All right, this is the Body Yashawan from the GMS Bombers Camp, Bakaja, with another brief lesson. All right, the name of this lesson is entitled, When I Am Weak, Then I Am Made Strong. Okay, when I am weak, then I am made strong. Okay, so yeah, man, like I said, this is the Body Yashawan, all right, from the GMS Bombers Camp. Okay, back with you again with another Monday Night Live. Okay, so yeah, man, so we go through many trials and many tribulations. Okay, some may be greater than others, all right, but it's the same trial of our faith. Okay, because it is one spirit that is trying us who hope to be a part of the elect. Okay, of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. All right, so we do go through these for a chastisement, all right, and also for a testing of our faith. Okay, all of these will ultimately lead, all right, to the hour of temptation. All right, so by us abounding in this faith, okay, when the time comes, all right, we go through the testing, we go through the ringer, we go through the fire. All right, so when the time comes for our testing, okay, of our faith, okay, and overcome them, all right, as Yahweh Shai did, then, okay, when the hour of temptation comes, all right, you should be built up in the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right, and what could withstand, all right, the times that are coming in, that we are coming in, okay. So, hey, we did multiple lessons uh, on sufferings and trials and tribulations, multiple lessons on admonishing, uplifting, building, okay. So these times we in right now with with tariffs what's going on with the trade war is only gonna get harder and harder. All right. So our faith, those of us in this truth, our faith must be built up to withstand what's coming. Okay. If not, all right, you will fall. Okay. You would fall weak. All right. Because if you're only trusting in the Lord in these times and your faith ain't built up and you catching all type of hell, then guess what you can do? You can give in to the system. Okay. You will give it to the system. So with these tariffs them going on right now, okay, with the trade war between Russia, China, all right, and Canada and other countries around the world, okay, Trump has put tariff on all these 180 countries. Some countries or lands doesn't even have people. Okay, he's putting tariff on the penguin. Okay, so all of these things, all right, is happening. All right, now with China hitting Babylon, America with 104% of tariff. All right, Babylon get a whole lot of stuff from China. Okay, a lot of them stuff now dealing with certain metals or whatever to create semiconductors and all that stuff, basically for car parts and all that. All right, now it's gonna be hotter now. All right, but the thing is that for us over here in the Bahamas, which are people they don't understand what's going on. They love to say, "Oh yeah, well, but that's over there. It's all that ain't happening over here." They're so dumb and ignorant to the fact that we import 90% of our foods and our goods, and whatever have you from Babylon. All right. We import a certain a small little portion from from South America. All right. But for the most part, we import everything from the USA. All right. So if Babylon getting hit with a heavy tariff like that, okay, from China, all right. So what you think is gonna happen? Just like they say, uh, in certain articles, right? They use for iPhone. iPhone right now, all right, going at $800-900, right? Uh, you go buy an iPhone now in the next 2-3 weeks. That phone gonna cost you $2,400 to $3,000. Well, at least well over here in the Bahamas, okay, in certain stores right now, like on Store Furniture Plus, they're gonna sell you that phone right now for 1,200 to $1,600. Okay, finance. All right. So imagine in another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that phone getting up, boy. Okay. Right now in the food stores, you can go in the food store right now and flicking uh pick up certain items. Because you can say man, it's too expensive. Okay. Your money, what you thought you making money, that become none. Okay. And those who ain't making none will just become flicking extra none. All right. So yeah, man. All these things that is happening today. Okay, we need to be strong. Our faith need to be built up. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 12:7. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelation, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. Okay, and exalted means the what to rise. Okay, abundance means what by measure exceedingly. A thorn will represent pain of to afflict. Buffet means to what? To be beat up. Okay, treat with violence and continuity. All right, continually. Right, less because you say it say less I should be exalted above measure. Okay, less means God forbid. All right, so Paul is basically saying God forbid I should rise above measure. All right, through beyond measure of manifestation, there was given me to me pain and to be afflicted, okay, in this flesh from Satan to treat me with violence and continually. Okay, God forbid I should rise above measure. All right, so we in these times, okay, that we living in, we're gonna go through this hell, and especially with trade war going on. All right, that's gonna cause a whole lot of stuff. Farming. All right, the farmers they for them to get their fertilizers and other stuff. Okay, the price is gonna be very high. Okay, so they're not gonna plant their goods in a timely fashion. Okay, they may say, all right, I could put this in the ground, but I don't have no fertilizer. All right, to keep away the bugs and whatever have you, or to keep it, to grow faster or whatever have you. Okay, they may say, well, the pesticides and all that stuff is too expensive now to even bring it. All right, so what is going to happen? That's going to slow it down. Okay, and then eventually hardship would come to you. All right, okay, so it is necessary we go through these affliction. All right, in the body, the flesh become because we know that we will rise above it. Okay, so we going through all of this hardship. All right, just to go through that trial, to go through that test. So then in the end, all right, we will overcome it. Okay, because it ain't getting no better. And before it get better, it gotta get worse. All right. For it's 8 say 2 Corinthians 12:8. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice that I may depart, that it might be depart from me. All right, that it might depart from me. So yes, we did. We don't want to be buffeted or beat up, all right, or be cursed at and called names, right? We don't want to be abused, okay? But at the end of the day, it is necessary, all right, because it will make us strong, okay? It will make us strong, all right? So you can imagine your fellow co-workers, them at least that's what they do now. They say we crazy, all right? When we go on the highways and byways, all right, okay. Verse 9, 2 Corinthians 12 and 9 say, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in meekness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Right? Grace, right, which is cherished, grace, favor, thanks, pleasure, okay, that which affords joy, all right, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, goodwill, loving kindness, okay, favor. That is what is grace. Because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai say, my grace is sufficient for thee. Okay? Sufficient mean be content. Sufficient. Be enough. Suffice. To be possessed of unfailing strength. Be strong. To defend. That's the meaning of sufficient. Okay? Because Yahweh Shai say, what is grace? Right? Is sufficient for thee. Meaning for you who believe and trust in him. All right? When we go through these sufferings, okay, when we going through, all right, as the scriptures say in Revelation 6 and 6, okay, a measure of wheat for a penny and a measure of barley for a penny, okay. These times it's coming, we coming into these times, all right. Many times we go we go through um these sufferings, all right. Many times where we say we ain't got it, okay, we ain't got it, you know. But our trust is in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and He is who we depend on. We don't depend on Jesus because we cannot get nothing from Jesus. All right, Jesus can fulfill our heart's desire. Okay, but Yahweh Shai can do that. All right. Many times we say, "Boy, it's rough." You know, we're gonna go through these hell. All right. Sometimes you don't even know if you're gonna eat a little later. All right. But at the end of the day, the Lord take care of his own. And that's the most important thing. This is why we continue to give thanks and praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we know at the end of the day, my servant shall eat. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. All right. So even now, when the times is gonna get bad, all right, we know that we will eat. Okay, we ain't worrying about no material stuff. Okay, we ain't worrying about no material stuff. Okay, because the Lord will feed us and take care of us. Right? He said, my grace is sufficient for you. Right? They say, my strength is made perfect in weakness. Strength means power, mighty, work, strength, might, ability, perfect. Right? Means make perfect, finish, fulfill, right? To make perfect, complete, accomplish. You see, and guess what? We ain't completed. We ain't complete because we ain't perfect. Okay, all right. Now, when Yahweh Shai, Lord, will we be a part of those elect, the elect, all right? And Yahweh Shai return and we make it on the chariot, then we become perfect because we will be changed in a twinkle of an eye. Then it will be accomplished. All right. He said, my strength is made perfect in weakness. And weakness goes back to infirmity. Okay. Want of strength of the body. All right. That's weakness. Want of strength. Okay. So in these times, we cannot be weak. All right. Because when you be weak, then you will fall. This is why Yahweh Shai, okay, took that spot of weakness. That's why he say, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect, fulfilled in weakness. You see, it's completed and accomplished in weakness. Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai, his strength is made accomplished in weakness. So in these times, when we feel weary or growing weak, we just got to remember Yahweh Shai. Do his will, follow him. Because his strength is accomplished in that weakness. You see? That's all it is. All right. Okay. So will I rather glory in my infirmities, born of strength, that the strength of Mashiach may rest upon me? That's what Paul is saying. Okay. So let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, uh, 29 and 30. Okay. They say, who is weak and I am not weak? Who is offended and I burn not? If I must needs glory, I will glory in the things which concern my infirmities. Infirmities goes back to weakness, the body. Okay, that's what it goes back to, the body. All right. So when we weak, when we're gonna glory, we gonna glory in Yahweh Shai, because his strength is confirmed and made possible and strengthened in weakness. So we're gonna turn to Yahweh Shai. That's what we're gonna glory in. That's what we're gonna glory in. All right. This is 1 Peter 4 and verse 12. Check this. It say, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. You see? But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Mashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. All right? If ye be reproached for the name of Mashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High rested upon you. On their part, right, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. You see? All right. So, hey, many of us, we are that hard. We still going through hell. Okay, some of us go through even a greater affliction and come out and give testimonies. Okay, I myself went through a great affliction. Okay, I'm still going through hell. All right, but I give the Most High all glory, honor, and praises. All right. Sometimes I don't have no food, okay, to eat, and the Lord would provide for me and my family at the end of the day. All right, and many brothers alike. We go through the same thing. Okay, some may be intensified and some may be a little lighter. All right, because gold is tried in the fire, unacceptable man of furnace of adversity. Okay, when you refine in gold, okay, and you are refining silver, it's two different process. Okay, two different process. So some brother may go through the fire, which in you going through the same fire. Some just at a lighter temperature, and some are going with a heavier temperature, a deeper temperature. But it's the same fire that is going to try you. Okay, so we must be strong. All right, because what's coming up on the edge today? Okay, all type of hell. All right, we have earthquakes in diverse places. We are plane been crashing. All right, we just had a helicopter crash in the Hudson River, killed 5. You have another plane crash, basically almost in the Hudson River, basically around the same area, killed 6. You had an earthquake in San Diego, okay, near LA. All right, massive earthquake the other day in Indonesia. All right, in the next one in I think Thailand. I think I'm not too sure. Okay, the earthquakes all over the places. Okay, and all of this is leading to the birth pains. Going back to Matthew 24 and 8, the beginning of sorrow. All right, and tariffs on top of that. Okay, and before all that, you are flicking all kind of diseases. Okay, C19. So all of these stuff you got to keep in mind. Okay, and if you ain't strong, okay, and you're not calling on the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, then you'll be taken. Okay, you will be taken. All right. You think we going through hell? Just to say we going through hell and not calling on the right name? When we call on the name that Yahweh that put flicking fear in us. Okay? You don't go around be saying when you buck your toe, oh Jesus. All right. Or someone make a joke, you say, oh Jesus. All right. Or if someone scared you, you say, oh Jesus. You don't say that, boy. You know, we call on the name of the Lord with all truth and sincerity and in charity, with humility, with all seriousness. You don't smile up with that name, because that's the name that's going to save us. Okay? Along with our faith. All right? I think this is a joke here. All right? This is Job 2 and 3. Job chapter 2, verse 3 to 6. All right? And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. You see? So we have to be like Job. When you see badness come, when you see hardship come, okay? When you see all of these things happening on the world today, you ought to be like Job. Our faith have to be up there. All right? For 4 say, and Satan answered Yahweh and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man had will he give his life, will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So the Lord, that's one thing too, just to show you that Satan don't have no power unless the Lord give it, because the Lord said, look, you can do anything with him except to mess his life. All right. So if Satan was all evil, pure evil, right? If Satan was pure evil, Satan wouldn't flick and take heed to the Lord. Satan wouldn't obey the Lord. He would just go ahead and flick and kill Job. Why he just didn't go and do that? That is to show that Satan take orders from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Satan obeys the Lord. His job is to do whatever the Lord tell him to do. So if the Lord tell him, like, I'm going to make you an angel just to go around, just to flick and make things hard for this one, make things hard for that one. Satan going to go and do it. That's all. All right. So if the Lord said, man, like, I want you to put my servant through the ringer, just to prove them that you tried him. That's what Satan's going to do. You see? But you have these Christians love to say Satan busy. And he's the enemy, this and the enemy that and this and that and all that. All right? Not understanding Satan just taking orders from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's all. He's going to do what his father commanded him to do. Okay? But they don't get this, they don't get that in this thick skull, boy. As a matter of fact, they don't know that. All right? Let's get Isaiah chapter 43. All right? It's Isaiah 43, verse 1 and 2. But now thus saith Yahweh that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee, I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Right? That's what the Lord told his children, the Israelites, us. Okay? But at this time, this is for the elect of the nation of Israel, because the Lord have a favorite. Okay? He have a favorite. And his favorites are the elect out of the nation of Israel, just like your favorite trees. Okay? All right? But a lot of our people, they don't know that. They don't know that. All right? This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 29. It says, he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have might, no might, he increases strength. You see? So when you fall weak, right? Just remember that you have Yahweh Shai, who is completed and made power in weakness. Okay? Who is accomplished in weakness. His strength is accomplished in weakness. So this is why we have Yahweh Shai. The words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that make us strong when we go into pure hell. And all this is building us up to the hour of temptation. You see? That's all it is. All right? And hey, Lord, will you be edified from this lesson? You be built up. Okay? Isaiah 40 and 29 again. Right? He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increases strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. You see that? Wait is to hope. Okay? They shall mount up with wings as eagles, they shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. How they can walk? They can walk in that accomplishment, okay, which Yahweh Shai is that accomplishment in weakness. So they can walk in the accomplishment of Yahweh Shai, which is strength. Okay? All right. So when you say you love the Lord, as the scriptures say, when thou hast come to serve the Lord, prepare thy heart and soul for temptation, cleave unto him. When thou art changed to a low state, going back to Sirach chapter 2. All right. You could read that. So back here in 2 Corinthians 12 and 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecution, in distress for Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. All right. So for the sake of Mashiach, I am content with these things. These things what we have now. We ain't rushing to go out there to buy this and to buy that and to buy all kind of garbage. These things doesn't matter. Vanity, all is vanity, says the preacher. Okay. I am content with these things. Okay. Want of strength in body. All right. Insults, hardship, persecution, and calamities, buffet, robbery, and any such other things that contributes. We are content. And that's how you should be content with what you have. All right. Not going on your way trying to seek more, trying to prove that you something. Having people believe that gain is godliness. As the scripture says, supposing gain is godliness. All right. So the weakness is when you go through, okay, all of this in our body. Okay, and the strength is when we overcome them through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. So yeah, Paul say, okay, 2 Corinthians 12 and 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, because we know when we are weak, then we are strong. I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distress for Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. Because when you are weak, that means his strength was made perfect in weakness, meaning accomplished, his strength is accomplished in weakness. Therefore, that's when you're weak, you turn to him. Okay, he take away that. Okay, all right. So this is something what we have. Nobody can take that away from you. All right. So when you feel like you're going through hell, all right, you can't do this or you can't do that. Okay, or you're feeling some type of way. Okay, you're feeling sad or you're feeling down and all that. All that you got to rebuke that, because that demons. Okay, that's all it is. All right. So yeah, man. Hey, Lord will. This lesson was edified. Okay, edified. Take heed. All right, take the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, we as prophets, we just bringing it out so that us ourselves and you may be built up in the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, Shalom, the brother GMS is like the Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah. All right, so with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, Akim, of just pushing the truth in love and sincerity and in charity with all humility. Shalom and the power of God. Qam Yasharahla.